Hello everybody, welcome to the latest video from FPL Affairs, the podcast that discusses our 9-month-long love affair with FPL, including the ins and outs that keep us awake at night. In the second of our Idiots guides, we attempt to explain what a chip strategy is, provide suggestions when you can use each chip, before sharing a range of chip strategies, including our own. We will also cover blank and double game weeks. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Ayo Saka. That is a diamond in the goal.
Hello, welcome to the Idiot's Guide to Chip Strategies with your two FPL Affairs resident idiots, me, Matt, aka the Veteran Idiot, and alongside me, Jack, aka the Master Idiot. He's questioning the word master in there though, but that's him, not me. Anyway, shall we get cracking?
Let's do it.
Right, nice. Okay, the Idiot's Guide to Chip Strategies. What are they? Where can I use them? Why should I use them? When should I use them? The free hit, the bench boost, triple captain, assistant manager, and, well, wildcard if you want to call that a chip as well. So, in case you are wondering, what is a chip strategy? An FPL chip strategy is a long-term plan, which Jack and I are always going on about, made in advance that includes when you use your remaining chips. The reason for doing this is to get the most out of double and blank game weeks without taking lots of hits. So double game weeks when a team has 2 fixtures, and blank game week when a team has no fixtures. So, Jack, provided you can see the right screen this time, run through the predicted game week calendar for the rest of the season, please.
Predicted game week calendar. In game week 25, we already know that confirmed is a double game week for Aston Villa and Liverpool. After that, game week 26, 27 and 28 will be normal. After that, there will be teams blanking in game week 29 with the EFL Cup final. Game week 30 will be a normal game week, as will 31 and 32. Game week 33 will be a double game week. Game week 34 will be a blank game week with the FA Cup semi-finals. Game week 35 will be a normal game week. Game week 36 will be a double, and to finish, game week 37 and game week 38 will be normal game weeks.
What I had just briefly adding to that is game week 37 is the FA Cup final and surrounding Europa League final. So there is a small chance there might be a double that week, albeit unlikely.
Yeah.
But as Jack said, there's some confirmed ones already. Game week 25, so next week, is guaranteed small double game week. And because of the Carabao Cup semi-final results, we know that the Liverpool away to Aston Villa fixture from game week 29 has been moved to next week. So Liverpool will have Wolves at home, followed by Aston Villa away. And Aston Villa have Ipswich at home and Liverpool at home. Game week 29 is a blank game week because it clashes with the Carabao Cup final between Liverpool and Newcastle. As I just said, Villa and Liverpool have no fixture that week. Newcastle and Crystal Palace are likely to blank, although it's feasible, it's possible, small chance that they might be moved midweek, so still within game week 29, but it's largely dependent on whether they both progress, well, whether they are both knocked out in the next round of the FA Cup. Anyway, game weeks 33 and 36 are double game weeks. Which teams double depends on who blanks in game week 34. Newcastle, Crystal Palace are likely to be doubling in one of those. Which of those is the biggest? We're not so sure at the moment. Predictions say game week 33 is the most likely. But also confirmed, game week 34 is a blank game week for the teams and their opponents who reach the FA Cup semi-finals. So potentially that could be up to 8 teams, which will be confirmed further down the line, which will be discussed on later slides.
It's interesting this season that they've put the blanks before the doubles this year. Most seasons it's a blank game week and then they reschedule that game for following game weeks, don't they? It's interesting that this season, they're like pre. Do you see what I mean? They move the fixtures forward. They normally don't. Do you see what I mean? They normally miss them and then push them back.
Yeah.
So something to think about. Anyway, wildcard chip. You get 2 of these in the season. First available is in the first half of the season between game weeks 1 to 19. The second is available in the second half between game weeks 20 and 38. Each of these chips can only be used once. Also, if you don't use it, the first one, it won't roll over, so you will lose it. Each can only be used once, activated, unlimited transfers for that game week only. Currently, we think the best weeks for use would be in game week 30 to 32, which would reset your squad after the game week 29 and prepare you for the potential big double in game week 34. In the double game week 33. Game week 34 allows you to easily get rid of players that blank this week. So general premise is that you dead end your team into a blank week, wildcard out of that into a double game week, which allows you to use your bench boost so that you can have a full bench of double game week players. Is the usual general rule of thumb.
Okay. Next up, the free hit chip. This allows you to change your whole squad, well, as much of that squad as you like, for 1 game week only. And then the following game week, your squad will return to the side you had before you activated the free hit chip. And the best weeks for use are in blank game week 29. So if you currently have 8 or more players from Liverpool, Aston Villa, Newcastle and Crystal Palace, but blank that game week, it's easily, a free hit makes it easily accessible to get those players out just for that week, because some of those clubs have got good fixtures either side of game week 29. Also, you could use free hit in game week 34, blank game week then, which is expected potentially to be the biggest blank, and you'll easily be able to remove the players that blank that week. Alternatively, which is more been beneficial in previous seasons, because previous seasons has been more doubles. So you could, depending what chips you've got available, use your free hit in a double game week 33 or double game week 36, and then you'd be able to fill your starting 11 with players that have 2 fixtures.
Assistant manager chip. Choose a manager to score points for 3 consecutive weeks. Note, you do have to pay for them. Be nice if you didn't. Best weeks for use are game week 25, as there is a guaranteed double here, and it's the chip with the most points potential. We suggest maybe on a Slot or Emery, as they both have doubles. Game week 31 to 33 again covers a double game week. 33 particularly useful if you have already played your bench boost. Game week 35 to 37 or 36 to 38 covers any final double and focus on teams that aren't on the beach.
Yeah, and coming up, some suggestions that Jack will talk you through.
So, assistant manager suggestions. So you have got Wolves with Bournemouth, Fulham, Everton, Southampton, West Ham and Ipswich. So depending on your appetite for table bonus there, depends on your entry point there. David Moyes, who I've currently got my assistant managership on, in game week 30, 31 and 32 has Liverpool, Arsenal and Forest, so has potential table bonus in all three of those games. Ange Postecoglou will have City, Bournemouth and Fulham in 27, 28, 29. There's potential for all three of those to be table bonus games. Ruben Amorim with 30, 31 and 32 with Forest, City and Newcastle, all table bonus games. You have Maresca, who has no table bonus games. However, nice fixtures with Southampton and Leicester at home, followed by a tough away day to Arsenal. And you have Eddie Howe with Leicester United in 31 and 32 and a potential double game week in 33 with Villa and Crystal Palace.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. Okay, the triple captainship, which Jack and other people used really early on Haaland to much success.
Thank you.
Some people used it last week, game week 24, Salah, which is working out nicely with the final fixture coming tomorrow as we're recording this Tuesday evening. I've still got mine left, and as I have my assistant manager chip activated, I cannot use the triple captain chip on Mo Salah this week. But anyway, so the triple captainship, once it's activated, you get triple points from your appointed captain instead of the usual double. This chip can be deactivated before deadline, and unfortunately it's the lowest upside chip for points in theory. Anyway, the best weeks for use is a game week where a player is predicted to score big. Usually when a player has a double game week, ideally at home, or in a single game week, just an easy home fixture. Examples, if you're not using assistant manager chip or any others this week, could use Salah's double at home to Wolves and away to Villa this week. It could be used. Or game week 28, single game week, but Salah is at home to Southampton. Or a small double game week. One that I'm considering is if Newcastle ever get far in the FA Cup as well as the Carabao Cup and have a small double later on in the season to see when that falls. I'm keeping an eye out for that. Now Jack will go through the next one, bench boost.
The bench boost chip. So the points earned by the players on your bench are included in your total. Make sure your bench is full of available players who regularly start. The best weeks for use are normally the biggest double game week, which is likely to be game week 33 or game week 36. Potentially you could have 4 bench players all playing 2 fixtures that week.
Okay, now we've gone through those chips, we've just got a few pointers about some specific game weeks. We'll start with blank game week 29. So this game week, which is the game week that clashes with the Carabao Cup final, this could be resolved by using a free hit as a quick fix, or you could use transfers from game week 25 onwards to remove any players that blank in game week 29, and then wildcard in the game weeks soon afterwards. So depending what shape your squad's in, and also what the latest news on doubles are exactly, you could wildcard in 30, 31 or 32. And the benefit of using a wildcard in one of those 3 weeks is that it prepares you for double game week 33.
So, double game week 33 and blank 34. So, game week 34 clashes with the FA Cup semi-finals. Semi-finalists and their scheduled opponents will therefore blank. The fixtures, however, are likely to be moved forward into game week 33 or alternatively game week 36. Note, those teams doubling in 33 will be the same teams who blank in game week 34. Therefore, you'll need to use chips to change your squad quickly.
Thanks for that, Jack. What we're going to do now, we've got a few combined chip strategies where we've used what we spoke about so far and put them together into specific plans.
These are our crazy ideas.
Yeah, crazy ideas, and we'll start with my crazy ideas, possibly. So the chip strategy I am on at the moment, game week 25, I have my assistant manager chip activated, which was last week, so I'll have that chip for game weeks 24, 25 and 26. My transfers between now and blank game week 29, I plan to take out my spare Liverpool, Aston Villa, Newcastle assets. I've got a lot of value in Isak and Salah. At the moment, I'm looking to bench those for the blank double in 29 because I'll just be buying them back afterwards. And I've got over 500,000 invested in Isak at the moment, and probably the same, if not more, for Salah.
Yeah.
Game week 30 to 31, I plan to use my wildcard to prepare for double game week 33. Jack and I were looking at when the FA Cup rounds are scheduled and dates and deadlines for the game weeks, and we should find out the lineup for the FA Cup semi-final on the Sunday just before the game week 30 deadline, which is a Tuesday. So in those 2 days, it's unlikely we'd know when the fixtures that are in 34, when they'll be moved to which game week. We're unlikely to find out in those 48 hours. So I'm now thinking of wildcarding in probably 31 at the earliest, or 32, depending how my team is shaping up for that. Anyway, double game week 33 or double game week 36, whichever is the biggest, I plan to use my bench boost. I'll free hit in the blank game week 34, and my triple captain, I might use it on Salah in single game week 28, but it's likely it will be later on in the season, I think, possibly for a bit more differential. And I think this chip strategy, I should be able to navigate 29 without any hits, if not one at the most. So I'd say this is a useful strategy if you currently have 6 or less players from Aston Villa, Liverpool, Newcastle, Palace. I don't really have any intention of getting any more Villa assets for the double anyway. I'm going off the point. Jack, what's your chip strategy at the moment?
So I am similar to you in that I have activated my assistant manager chip on David Moyes for game week 24 plus the Merseyside derby tomorrow evening, 25 and 26. I currently have 3 Liverpool, 3 Newcastle, 1 Villa and 1 Crystal Palace. So I currently have 8 players that are likely to blank in game week 29. Part of me has got my fingers crossed that Newcastle Crystal Palace game stays in game week 29. If it does, then that will leave me with 4 players blanking, which I think I can navigate 29 with 4 players blanking. The reason why I want to use, if that's not the case, and I do have 8 or more players, when I initially made this sort of strategy, it was before Liverpool were knocked out by Plymouth. So I sort of, in my mind, had Liverpool going far in the FA Cup as well. And I'm reluctant to move out Liverpool and Newcastle assets as they are both very much in form teams at the moment. So I would quite like to free hit them out in 29 and have them back again. Liverpool being knocked out of the Cup has actually played me in because it means that they're unlikely to obviously blank later on in the season. And apart from obviously the final or semi-final anyway, but apart from the Cup that they're currently in, So if I were to free hit them out in 29, I'd have all of them back for 30. I'd try it at that point. Like Matt said, we should know by game week 30. Well, actually, even earlier than that, if you can make educated guesses.
Just before game week 28, going into 28, there's the FA Cup fifth round, and we'll get the quarter-final draw. So you'd at least be able to make sensible guesses who would get through.
Yeah, especially with four all Premier League ties in there, and obviously the rest, obviously a mixture of the two, and I think there's a EFL, English Football League, couple of ties in there as well. So hopefully you'll have some Premier League teams knocked out, so they won't be blanking, as well as some Premier League teams with some relatively easy fixtures, like a Burnley or a Preston or whatever. So you'll be able to make educated guesses, which should then help me to navigate through the blank in 34 and 36. However, if I'm not able to navigate through transfers, then I will just wildcard for that blank game week, and then but again, it's all a little bit up in the air for me, because it all depends on where that big double lands. If the bigger double is going to be in 36, and that's great news, because I'll just wildcard into the blank in 34, and then bench boost in 36. If it doesn't, then I'm likely to wildcard before 33, similar to Matt, and use my bench boost in double game week 33. I don't have my triple captain, as I used it on Haaland in game week 2 at home to Ipswich, and he got a hat trick, so that was fun. But if I were to have it, I would probably use it in whichever double I didn't use my bench boost. So if I used my bench boost in 33, I would triple captain in 36, and obviously vice versa. I think personally, if you can get 10 players out in 29, then it's not worth a free hit. I think if you can get 10, because last season in game week 29, I got 10 players out and got a lovely big green arrow. A lot of people free hitted and I didn't. And yeah, I think if you can get 10 out without, I mean, even if you have to take a hit, but realistically, it's not worth taking hits to get 9 or 10 players out, because whatever player you bring in is already starting on -4. Yeah, I would say general rule for me, if you can get 10, don't bother free hitting. 10 nailed starters, you know what I mean? Not like you're hoping Fabianski starts, or you're hoping that, I don't know, Wout Faes starts for Leicester, like good, solid players. But yeah, that would be mine.
Yeah, we've got, for those of you that maybe don't have your wild card or don't have your bench boost or free hits, we've got alternatives. So the third chip strategy, which I've got up, is if you do not have a wild card. For that, we think use the current double for your assistant manager. Like me, use free transfers to navigate through blank game week 29. And actually, what I didn't mention before is one useful thing about helping with that is this season's change of being able to roll up to 5 free transfers, because Crystal Palace have got some really nice fixtures leading into 29, and I've got Munoz, and I don't want to sell him. Gordon, I'm umming and ahhing, but anyway, that's going off the point. We'll talk that in our preview review video later in the week. But potentially, if you like your team and their fixtures, you could actually just keep rolling until blank game week 29, and then
almost have a mini free hit at that point, couldn't you?
Yeah, and then continue using free transfers to prepare for double game week 33. In 33 or 36, bench boost, whichever one's the biggest double, using a triple captain in the other, and then free hit in blank game week 34. And if you do still have your wild card, do not use this strategy.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
No. And Jack's now going to run through what you could possibly do if you don't have your free hit or if you don't have your bench boost.
If you do not have your free hit, then again, game week 25 assistant manager. Game week 25 to 29, use your free transfers to navigate blank game week 29, similar to what Matt says, roll where you can up until that point. And then in game week 30 to 33, start to use your transfers to prepare for double game week 33. Obviously, we'll be aware of which teams are going to double and blank based on the cup results. Game week 33 or 36 bench boost based on, again, whichever teams that suit your team have the most doubles. Blank game week 34, wildcard out of that. And again, triple captain, you can either go 28 Salah at home to Southampton because we're hopeless and he's brilliant, or again, the biggest double in either 33 or 36, depending on how fixtures land on big players. Like, I like Matt's idea with Isak if Newcastle get far. If you
Can I just
Go
interrupt that? When I first
Yeah.
had that idea of going differential and doing triple captain on Isak, because one theory was if it's put in 36, they'd have Palace at home and Chelsea at home, or it might actually be Ipswich at home instead of Palace, because the Palace one might be put anyway. Going a bit off the point, but when I suggested that, Jack thought it was the most ridiculous idea, if I remember correctly.
No, didn't think that. There's
True.
a chance, because there is a chance. I wouldn't have thought that was a ridiculous idea. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, that's a ridiculous idea. I lied. I hate that idea. It's a stupid idea. Now that I know past me thought it was a crazy idea, I'll just double down on that.
Was probably before the Plymouth Liverpool result, to be honest.
I think it was. I don't. Was this over the chat? Because I don't think I had.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. No, I don't think it was me. Maybe it was the other Jack. But anyway.
Anyway.
So if you don't have your bench boost, if you do not have your bench boost, I mean, first of all, where have you used it? But second of all, game week 25, triple captain. Again, that can be sort of swapped round with the assistant manager chip. If you wanted to use the triple captain in 33, you could assistant manager in 25. You could just swap those round. But yeah, triple captain on Salah, game week 25. 25 to 29, again, use your free transfers to navigate. Game week 30, push the wildcard button, sort yourself out. Game week 31 to 33, use your assistant manager chip, or again swap for a triple captain, and then free hit in the blank game week of 34.
Summary of our key points, really, about chip strategies is generally focus on your wildcard chip and free hit ones first. The wildcard chip really does set your team up for the longer term, so decide when that would be best for the shape your team is looking at and also what chips you've got left available. Free hit in either a blank, so you can field 11, or greater upside in a double to get 11 doubling players. Your assistant manager covers 3 consecutive weeks, and you can't use another chip in those 3. If you still have your assistant manager, just look carefully at blocks of 3 and make sure that you don't then block yourself from using a different chip in a more suitable place.
Also, if you want to know about more detail on the assistant manager chip, please go back and check out our other Idiots Guide video on the assistant manager chip.
Bench boost in a double where your bench players all have 2 fixtures, hopefully in addition to your starting 11, or most of them anyway. And aim to use a triple captain on a player that's predicted to score big in a double, or an easy or less tricky home fixture.
So Southampton at home is an easy fixture
for anyone.
For you and me, even as well, even if we were playing.
Yeah. If you have found our Idiot's Guide to Chip Strategies helpful, then please let us know on x.com/FPL Affairs, Facebook, which the group name has officially changed to FPL Affairs, although the tag I think may still be Fantasy Premier League FPL 1. Our YouTube channel, where you will easily be able to find our other videos, including our Idiot's Guide to the Assistant Manager Chip, which the channel at FPL Affairs, and our Spotify long one across the bottom. Anyway, Jack, any final thoughts or final comments on chip strategies?
No, if you've used like two of your chips already, for example, like you've used the bench boost and the triple captain, and have questions on when you should use the other ones, if you've not quite sort of got the answers to that from this video, just pop them in the comments box
Yeah.
and we'll get back to you. No, other than that, good luck. Hope this helped.
Yeah, I hope this helped. And our next video, where we review game week 24 and preview 25, will be out the day after this one. So please leave a like and subscribe and share with your friends. Best wishes. Goodbye from these two resident idiots. The master idiot and the veteran idiot. Which is which? Bye-bye.
Bye bye.